And the adventure begins as my kid runs over the pool with a Bronco. No lie. This morning, if you watch my video, the Bronco was right there. The kid pulls out and borderline runs over the pool. Beyond believable. Yeah. And the adventure begins of the project of the pool before it even gets destroyed. Wow. 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 Yikes. Oh boy, the cleanup time. So I'm going to try to clean this area up around the pool to look a little more attractive as the pool setup project begins. And it's about midday here on Wednesday. So what am I going to do next? Yeah, I know. What am I going to do next? Yeah. Cut some grass. And the adventure begins as my kid runs over the pool with a Bronco. No lie. This morning, if you watch my video, the Bronco was right there. The kid pulls out and borderline runs over the pool. Beyond believable. Yeah. And the adventure begins of the project of the pool before it even gets destroyed. Wow. 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 Yikes. Oh boy, the cleanup time. So I'm going to try to clean this area up around the pool to look a little more attractive as the pool setup project begins. And it's about midday here on Wednesday. So what am I going to do next? Yeah, I know. What am I going to do next? Yeah. Cut some grass. Well, I'm going to see what Kirby's truck really is. I don't think it's a tow truck. We're going to find out. Oh, it just doesn't end. So when I took this trailer apart from my last truck, the whole front jack is all screwed up. I should have got the hydraulic setup. Lifting this thing here is a pain in the ass, but it just doesn't end. Does this even work today? All right, wow, what a project. It just doesn't end, man. Woo! Wow. There she is. Good to go. Time to go to the dump, give them money. Doesn't end. All right, so here we go. Add a trailer. And let's see here. Wowsker, so cool on how fast this sets up the trailer. All right, time to get up the road and go start. Am I working? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm working all right. Cool, I've done it before many years ago, and it was a project then. It's a project now. That's for damn sure. All right. Let's get out of the property first, right? Round and round we go on the adventure to another dump day. I hope my trailer's hydraulic battery, my battery's charged up by the time I get there. I always have to manually unload all that debris. Yeah, I know, I hear ya. Now the real question is going to be how this truck does up the road. That's my concern, that this thing's a lousy tow vehicle. Because this is such a small trailer, light load, why wouldn't it do pretty good, right? As the rain clouds come in. All right, not too shabby. What I really like though about the 2023 trucks, look at that. I love that down the line trailer capability. That is so cool, isn't it? It's the right side and the left side. That is so cool. I wish my F450 dually had that. Yeah, the trailer's doing good so far, but there's not much weight in it, and it's a low profile trailer, so once you get a load in it, that'll be the real question. But it's doing pretty good. And here we is, back to the landfill. It's interesting, it seems like I get on the landfill adventures and then I don't do it for a long time. It just seems like I'm all of a sudden go to landfill all the time, and then all of a sudden, like a year or longer goes by and I don't go to landfill. No tires accepted. Now, if you come up here around lunchtime, usually this place is pretty busy. You know, this is interesting though. This will be the second time I've come up here and it's not that busy, which that's, you know, is that a statement? Is that saying that this area is slowed down? I just can't believe that personally. Oh wow, so they're gonna put me up in the landfill. They don't want, because this is a vinyl pool, they don't want the aggravation of that vinyl. And that's something, so all that aluminum is just gonna get thrown away. So they're telling me to go to A1 today. The other day we were at R2. So where the heck am I going today? Right? And I'd have to assume I stay on the right side of the road there. I used to go up there. I got to talking to guys back there about, back in 91 I came here, and just like a little trailer where you pulled up, and a lady that worked in the trailer, and everything was flat. This was all woods. I mean, it was just dinky. Yeah, so I'm going way back over there. Look at that. Interesting how they're piecemealing this thing together. And the truck's handling the bumps pretty good. So it's a soft suspension, which has its advantages and disadvantages. To me, it's just a little too squirrely because it's so light, where it walks, it just drifts. That's what I get out of this vehicle. Yeah, I'm going to jail, everybody. Cell A1, Iceman. That's a setup. All right. As we go yonder, the road isn't too bad. That's a good thing. But the Kirby machine's handling the, but it isn't really that radically bumpy yet. And I hope my trailer dumps. Probably should just get a new battery. That's like, I don't know if I replace that battery in that dump trailer or not. Yeah, it's hard to believe that dump trailer is probably at least 4 or 5 years old. I can't remember. There we go. See that, all the engineering of waste disposal. So back in the day, I used to drive tanker trucks, and I would drive into a job site like this. Not that this is a job site, and they'd have like an above ground fuel tank, and I would go up in my tanker truck and pull out a big old hose and fill up the fuel tank. That's the company I work for. We did a lot of job sites, but you know, it just seems so quiet. So for me, back in the day, if we would have had the county contract, you'd come out here in a tanker truck and you'd put diesel fuel in that thing. So it just seems to me like it's quieted down, man. I'll have to ask those guys. That's a great thing. Can I remember asking? Probably not. Oh, and so the fun begins. First thing you do is you roll up the cover. Here I'm walking around my Crocs and a lot of crapola stuff. Don't get a nail through your Croc. I've done it. I stepped through a big old nail out here in this site years ago. I went right to the doctor and got a tetanus shot. So many years ago. Look at this. Look at all that drywall, plaster, boxes. Look at this here. So wouldn't you think that would be more appropriate to go recycle it? So what is that, a big government contract? Look at that. All the Dell stuff. I got a glimmer of hope. One thing they do, they give you these big ass long cords so you get up in your truck, drive it out. Come on, baby. Not much weight there, but I can tell you one thing, if I had a load of dirt, I don't know if that thing would do it. I doubt it would. I mean, that battery's barely gonna make it. Come on, baby. Don't fail me now. Come on. You can do it. See, it's not like, oof, oof, oof. I'll have to get violent with the trailer. Come on, stuff, fall. Come on, look at this. Look at that. It still isn't falling. Be unbelievable. Look at this. Could you hold on? Come on, man, go. What a joke. Did it go? Did it all fall out? Now we'll go down. Yeah, that's a whole other project. Until you've done this, you don't know. It should, because it's pressurized. So you can put tools and stuff like that in there, right there. Feel the whole earth move this guy goes around. Good trailer. All right, there we go. Got her. Damaged my rear tag. All that stuff. Toilet King. Feet aren't too bad. And getting the big old Kirby truck. It's the Kirby truck. That's what I call it. Kirby built it, so it's named the Kirby truck. All right, let's get out of here and go pay the bill. But I swear this place is slowed down. I gotta talk to this guys. That would be an indicator that the economy has slowed down. Most people are like, yeah, Iceman, it has slowed down. You dippy. Here's guys, you live in these vehicles. I mean, that's 8-hour days, man. And until you do that stuff, it just beats you up all day long, man. Bounce around, bounce around, and bounce around. Yeah. It's like riding around a zero-turn lawnmower. Anybody ever done that for hours on end? And that'll wear your butt out, man. Bumpity bump. Ugh. Oof. About that way that little hump is. Figured have that trailer support. I don't know. I screwed up that damn trailer support. That thing's like bent. Yeah. You know, I noticed though. It had grease fittings. I need to grease that thing. That could be another thing going on with that thing. In all reality, they bring in all this debris. Look at all the dumpsters. Yeah. So how far back? So how big is this Loudoun County landfill? I mean, does it end in all those trees over there? And then you go many, 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 many years down the road, is this allowed to be developed on? Huh. Which I'd be willing to bet it is, if they do it right. But I don't know. Not the expert on that. Yeah, the expert conversations. Look at that. Look at all that material to do all that. I mean, that's a lot of work. Don't bring your pretty Chevy up here. You won't be happy. Oh, the Ford guys got to give the Chevy guys a hard time, and the Chevy guys got to give the Ford guys a hard time. Then the Ram guys give the Chevy guys a hard time. Then the Ford and Chevy guys give the Ram guy. List goes on and on and on, right? So, you know, what's your truck? What's your love for the vehicle that you drive? And we all get heck bent on mine's better than yours. Now, they recommend you do the wash. Let's see, let's go try it out. Get some water. Their philosophy is, if you come up here on a muddy day, you're going to be having mud every day. This place is so quiet. Something's changed. So here you go. Does it activate? It did not activate. This is so funny. There it goes. Yeah, I'm thinking, what's going on? It's not really doing much in all reality. But whatever. But the good news is we'll get more mud right here than we would just being on the regular road. Being on the regular thing. Alright, let's see what these guys have to say. I weighed in over 12,000 pounds. So what did we weigh back in? I mean, there was no weight. I mean, that couldn't have been 300 pounds, 500 pounds, maybe. Wasn't it like 6.3 or something? So yeah. Right, so no, he's like, nah. The one guy's like, nah, you're just, it comes in waves. He's like, we're just as busy. He's like, on a Friday, this place, you're backed up to the gate. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, nope. Yeah, and as I'm leaving. So that answers that question. Now I'm going to go to Hamilton Milling. And Hamilton Milling brings back many memories to me as a very young man. Because back in 1988, 89, when I got into commercial fuel sales for a company called Continental Petroleum located in Fairfax City, Virginia, near the terminals for the tanker farms, I became an independent commercial salesman representing that company to sell commercial fuels. And Hamilton Milling had their own fuel storage for gasoline and diesel to run their equipment. And so I made an appointment with a gentleman named Rudy Harding. To this day, I'll never forget meeting him. And that was probably like 1989, the spring of 89 to be my guess. And kind of a shorter stature man, and his hands were just massive. He had these hands, his handshake. And yeah, he was a good old country boy, farmer boy that grew up on the farm in Ashburn, Virginia. He was born in Ashburn, Virginia. And so, but he was an outside salesman for 3M for many, many years. And then as he got older, he kind of settled down, and he was the manager for the Joe Rogers family to manage Hamilton Milling. He was just a really cool guy. Well, what's really crazy is, if you really watch my channel, and you hear I talk about how I got into the wireless car wash, dry washing guard distributorship back in 92, 93, well, come to be, one day I come to meet his son, Jack Harding. Yeah, his son, Jack, who lived in Ashburn. I got to know him through being a dry washing guard distributor. But then, to really even make it even more come full circle, when I got into the public telephone business in 1996, well, Jack Harding worked for Verizon, Bell Atlantic, C&P Telephone. So he actually worked for the telephone company that in so many ways I competed with. And Jack had a really beautiful piece of property down there in Ashburn, the old town of Ashburn. I wonder what happened to him. And back at that time, he'd have been a little older than me. I'd say, I don't know, was he maybe 10 years older than me? I'm not really sure. I should probably look him up on Facebook. And then Rudy Harding, sadly many years ago, passed from being old. But just I remember him, I remember that hand and that handshake. It's like, oh my gosh. I'm sure many people can relate with that, where you meet somebody that just has this incredible, strong hand. And her hand is just so big. And you know that we grew up in the farm country. There's an old farm. Whoa, I just took out a black snake, or did I? I did not. He's making it across the road. I think he's going to make it. I literally trailer literally centered right over him. I like black snakes. They get on my property too. I'll find one looking down at me when I go in my basement. I'll find one of them in my barn. But they're good to eat the mice and other things. And they won't harm you. But every now and then, sadly, I'll be cutting the grass. It's only happened like once, I think. And I've actually run one over. Because the black snakes, that's a good snake to have around your area. In fact, it would be a great snake to be in my barn right now, going and finding all those eggs from the all the birds. Yeah, I wonder where they are. I haven't seen a black snake in my barn for quite a few years. Is that maybe why the bird situation's gotten so out of hand? The black snake moved away and none other have come back? Part of me, I have to wonder that now. I just don't remember the bird situation is bad. But who can remember anything? But I didn't have as many cars either. All right, Hamilton Milling to get some dirt. I'm thinking if I get some dirt and I put a layer of dirt over that existing pool bed and I try to smooth it out, I think it'll help take some of the imperfections out and maybe level a little better. I don't know. I think I'm probably crazy. I'm thinking ready to turn this into a major project. I know. As we come up to Heritage High School, is that what it is? In the good old days, just go back so many years ago, and I used to coach basketball games here at this high school. Yep, I think it's called Heritage. lot of good days there back in the coaching the youth girls sports. And, you know, some guys, they continue on. I was coach girls youth basketball. There were a lot of guys, older guys, that literally kind of got back into coaching just for something to do, even though their kids had grown up. They just enjoyed coaching youth basketball so much they got back into it. All right, the Kirby truck. Now, something else that's just, I've talked about it before, but you don't watch all my videos. So the Hamilton Milling, that came from the Rogers family. Rogers family is a family that goes back to the Civil War era, where after the Civil War, the Rogers family bought up all these defunct flour mills. They used to own, down in Georgetown, Washington, D.C., right on the waterfront there used to be the Georgetown flour mill. I believe they called it that. And it was a really nice flour mill right there in the D.C. water area back in the day. And the Rogers became very wealthy from buying up, after the Civil War, all these flour mills. And they end up turning them around and getting them operating again. And that's my understanding, that's where they made a lot of money. But for the present day Rogers, you go back so many years ago, Joe Rogers was a doctor. So he pursued to be a doctor, but that would have been back in the 70s and 80s and 90s. And he was a very affluent, astute individual, very well known in the horse community, Middleburg. And now his son, Joe Rogers Jr., runs the Hamilton Milling operation. And he's probably 10 years older. I would say he's probably 10 years older than me, be my guess. I haven't seen him in years.